There, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to discuss another important journal of IEEE, whose name is IEEE Transactions on Image Processing. So today's focus is specifically on image processing and the related research. So as you can see that it's an IEEE journal and listed under the journals and magazine category of IEEE. Here, just by seeing at the homepage and the related metrics, you can have a very basic idea that this is a very powerful journal. The impact factor is above than 10, which is very good. And the eigenfactor article influence score and the site scores are also very good. So here, in addition to these are some common menus, popular early access, current volume, all issues about the journal. And respectively, you'll get the related information. If you want to have the basic scope, then it focuses mainly on the signal processing aspects of image processing, imaging systems, and the image scanning. Okay, coming to the author's resources, so you will find most of the resources here only related to the submission, author center, becoming the reviewer, additional information, and the open access related information. Then some of the popular articles and the latest published articles you can have. And lastly, you can have the editor-in-chief, pleasant profile. And here you can, if you want to have the editorial board information, etc., then you can go on to the additional information that you may find. Okay, or in the about journal you may find the information, means any of the pluses. So in this way you can have a basic information set. So let's start with, we are going to see that this particular journal is peer reviewed. Peer reviewed means the experts of the similar domain are supposed to evaluate your research work, and then they will give the critical comments. If your journal satisfies all the comments and pass through their test, then obviously that is going to get accepted and got published. Okay. So in this way, this IEEE transaction on image processing works according to the IEEE PSPB operation manual. It is the manual which provides the basic guidelines for the publications and other ethical guidelines. Then the articles are submitted to this particular journal are reviewed by minimum 2 of the independent reviewers. Those are called the peer reviewers, and it goes through the single blind peer review process. Single blind review means that the authors are not familiar with the reviewers detail, but reviewers do know about the authors details, means their affiliation and all. So it is the single blind review process. Another way of evaluating means processing or having the peer review process is the double blind review, in which neither the reviewer nor the authors do know about each other's detail. So that is considered better than single blind review. Now coming to the author's resources. So here you can see that the submission related guidelines, submission, author central here, and all the related informations are provided here. Most important means as a fresh researcher, you may want to submit your manuscript, so go here. But before that, always go through all the submission guidelines, means what is the length, what is the font, what is the template, everything you will get related information you'll find here. Then the author center is means if you want to, then at the author center you will find the author related information, some additional precautions and sort of activities you will find here. If you want to become a reviewer, then you can choose this particular option, submit your request, and then what are the roles and responsibilities of a particular reviewer. Then you will get to know all sort of links are provided here, and some of the additional information with respect to publishing in this particular transaction or journal you may find here. Coming to the open access, so whether the journal is supporting open access or not, if yes, then what is the cost, etc. All this sort of information may be found with the help of IEEE Open. Coming to, we have seen the editorial, means editor-in-chief, and these are some of the related journals and magazines. So most importantly, you should always go through the popular articles and the latest published articles, and these are given in bold kind of thing, means in big form. And the reason is that at what type, means what type of articles are published, and what type of articles are admired by most of the authors or the readers. So you can see that most popular articles are these one, and latest published articles are more important because time to time a journal's focus gets changed. So in this way, whenever you are trying to know that what is the current focus, so that you could also get published, your work could also get accepted, so then you should always focus on the current topics or the keywords. So here you can see that semi-supervised learning is in the focus, and clustering based works are in the focus. Then you can see the contour tracking, spatial temporal correlation, then the image segmentation, coming down, some of, if you view, go for showing all the details, okay, let's see some of the 4 or 5 papers at least, and you will have a better idea. So here that here the image segmentation we have already seen, and then the intensity in homogeneity and high noise based evaluation and their remedies sort of. Then we go to the generative adversarial network, means again for the multi-domain image translation, then the multi-margin metric learning, and sort of means different sorts of keywords or the specific key technologies you can highlight from the these listed recently accepted works. So in this way, you will definitely get a basic notion of understanding that what sort of image processing techniques or technologies are in focus, and using what sort of other, means third-party technologies or techniques you can propose. So always, if the journal is interdisciplinary in nature, you should combine 2 3 different domains, technologies or techniques, and then propose a research work. If this is the approach, if you are taking the journal first, means you are finalizing the journal first that I want to publish in this, and then you are starting writing your research. But if you have gone through, or if you are starting in the other way, means you have completed your research, you have proposed, you have got some results, and you have started writing, or you have written your work, then you are finding a suitable journal for that particular research. Then I think according to your research, you may go into means you may go for any particular publisher, IEEE elsewhere, IOP, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, Hindawi, etc. And then you can choose, because every publisher has some good journals, at least 2 or 3. And with respect to every domain, there are some good journals. Not necessarily in every publisher you will find a journal according to your research, but definitely there are some good journals with respect to every research domain. So always go for your research domain related journal, not just any journal, because there are so many journals nowadays which are accepting interdisciplinary papers, and just for the sake of, means getting more articles, they have, even many journals have very high acceptance rate. So in this way, they can have more papers, and if they have more papers, more citations, it means there is a probability to get more citations. So in this way, their impact factor gets on improvement, means impact factor gets increased, and then later they claim that we are the one of the best journals due to our impact factor, and so on. So there are so many journals who are just accepting reviews and kind of articles, just to be in this impact factor game. Okay, that's why I always say to young researchers that don't go or get confused with this impact factor number game. You should always focus whether the journal is properly indexed, means it is indexed in the right kind of databases or not. So you should always see whether the journal is SCI or not. SCI and SCIE means Science Citation Index. Later it got expanded, and another categorization came, Science Citation Index expanded. So SCI and SCIE both are kind of similar. Any of these is present, means journal is, well, means good enough for publishing. Second thing, because around the world, mostly SCI and SCIE, these 2 categories are considered as the repeated ones. Then the next thing is Q ranking. So Q ranking means how many top journals are referring the works of a particular journal. So based on that, they say, means some people also define it like this, that does your journal belong to the top 25% of that particular domain. So in this way also you can define it. So if it is like this, so Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 means top 25, top 50%, top 75, and 100. So always go for top 50, means either Q1 or Q2. If your work didn't get accepted in Q1 or Q2, then only move for Q3. So always look for SCI or SCIE, then Q1 or Q2 journal, and then only go for the impact factor. Okay, that is my suggestion. Now coming to the all issues information is very important, because it shows you that how long the journal has been running. So here you can see that since 1992 it's running, and till date it is in function. So obviously very good, and you can see the impact factor. Has been so much because of this long journey only. And some sort of journals are not just because of impact factor, they have maintained the quality also. So as I will show you that what is the Q ranking. So before that, let's see what is the indexing of this particular journal, whether it's SCI or not. So we are just bothered about SCI, so we'll open the SCI list. And SCI list is provided at the Clarivate, means using the Clarivate master journal list, you can search whether your transaction or the journal is SCI or not. So here you can see that science citation index expanded is listed down here. So this journal belongs to this particular Web of Science core collection. So now we can say that this journal is SCI. Additionally, we need to see the Q ranking. So we jump onto the SCI Mago site, and here we see that IEEE transaction on signal processing metrics are given here. So you can see that a massive 288 H index is here. So H index more than 100 is very good, and it is close to around 300. Okay. So now you can imagine the quality. Additionally, there is a single track, means very much focused journal. Okay. Inside it, it is providing two subtracks: computer graphics and computer design, CAD, and software. It's a USA journal and published by IEEE. Additionally, this journal has this ISSN, and the coverage is from 1992 to 2020. Coming down, if you look onto the scope, so what is the scope of this particular journal? We have already discussed, but still, if you want to see, then here you can see that this particular journal covers the novel theory algorithm architectures for the formation, capture, processing, communication, analysis, and the display of images, video, and multidimensional signals. Okay, and obviously, multidimensional signals and the audio video have lots of applications, so those are also covered. Additionally, if you work on the mathematical, statistical, perpetual, modeling, representation, formation, coding, filtering, enhancement, restoration, rendering, halftoning, search and analysis of the images, video, or multidimensional signals, then also your work is in good range of this particular journal's aim and scope. And finally, the applications related to the image and video communications, electronic imaging, biomedical imaging, image and video system, and remote sensing are also into the focus. So in conclusion, if you want to say, then anything that is related to the image processing or the video, because videos are obviously the collection of images only, and the related techniques like segmentation, filtering, coding, formation, modeling, etc. These are in the focus of this particular journal. Coming down here, you can see that both the quartiles of this journal are completely given throughout from 1999 to 2020, whatever that data they have shown. Recent 2 years data they have not shown. Obviously, 2022 is going on. And here, if your work didn't get published in this IEEE transaction image processing, because we do know that lots of competition is there, and journal's acceptance rate might be very low, because it's a very good journal, top impact factor listed in SCI and throughout Q1. Okay, so in this way, if your work didn't get accepted here, you should always go for some alternatives. So these are some alternative journals based on the similarity index. So here you can say that 85% similarity index is shown by IEEE Transaction Circuits and System for Video, then Computer Vision and Image Understanding, Journal of Visual Communication and Image, and Journal of Image Electronic Imaging. Additionally, some more are there. And you should also focus the decision of this journal or alternate journal based on some other metrics like these shown in the form of graph. So the SDR metric is very down in 2020, which is not a good sign. Total number of documents are on rise, which is very good index. It means more authors are publishing their work with this journal. But again, it is not the only metric to consider, because you need to see that whether the journal is very much focused, because image and video based work is very means so many authors do work in video, image segmentation, multimedia, etc. Okay, that's why more number of articles of the research output do come, and they get accepted in these sort of journals. That's why the impact factor and all these things are very much high in multimedia related journals. But other things like here you can see that with respect to last 2 years, the citation per document is bit low in comparison to citation per document with respect to last 3 years. So that's a bit serious, not very serious, because it's better than last 4 years. But here you can see that in last 2 years, the electronic activity has been more due to Corona or something like that. So that's why due to more research and electronic activity, the last 2 year activities should have been more. Then the total number of citation with respect to self-citation, here you can see the graph and their differences. So this difference is very encouraging. And still, the self-citations are also there, but the outside citations, you can see that how big difference is this. Okay, and both these lines, the external citation and the citations per document, are almost mapping. They are not mapping, but almost mapping. So that is very good sign. But if they map completely, then it is the perfect case, because there are almost no self-citation, and it is a very big compliment for the journal, because journals image and the author's image come at stake if they do have more self-citations and sort of things. Additionally, the international collaborations are a bit average. Coming to the citable documents and the non-citable documents, so due to some violation of ethical guidelines, etc., there are some non-citable documents, but those are almost nil. Okay, and which is very good thing. And then the uncited documents are also very less. So again, citation is a totally different game, and being uncited doesn't mean that your work is not a quality work. Okay, your work might be very much focused into a particular direction. That's why more people are not working. So it might be the reason that your work didn't get cited. Okay, so don't worry. And coming to the final conclusion, this transaction is the Q1 journal. And so first thing that it is SCI, second it is Q1, and third its impact factor is more than 10, which is very good. Okay, and in this way we can conclude that you should definitely go for publishing in this particular journal if you have a choice, means if you get the chance or if you're working in this particular domain. Additionally, if you should also keep track of the related authors of your domain. So some of the authors who are publishing in IEEE transaction on image processing, they also do publish frequently in ACM transaction on graphics, neuroimage, journal of vision, applied optics, signal processing, and the computer graphics of forum, multimedia tools and applications, etc. And in addition to this, if you didn't get, it means your work didn't get accepted in IEEE, then you may also switch the publisher also. So the major publisher competitor of IEEE is the Elsevier, but in addition to this, the International Society for Optical Engineering, means SPI, is also a very good competitor with respect to image processing. Then the Springer Wiley, then the MDPI, IOP Publishing, EDP Sciences, etc. are some common publishers. So I think in this way you can decide that what is the right choice of journal or the publisher for you. And with respect to, there is another important concept, that what is the rate of new and returning authors. So very interestingly, I have reviewed and seen so many journals, and as per the data available at my side, means I have seen that the number or the rate of returning authors is going on rise. Means it is consistently increasing with respect to this journal, which is not very common with respect to most of the journals. Okay, means the people who are publishing at least one time in this, they are returning again and publishing their more work in this particular journal, and it might be due to its reputation, because all those things are in favor of publishing. Additionally, when people are publishing in a good journal, they do have contacts, or they do get into touch with other authors, and they do collaborate and they publish more. So many things are there. You can always have a kind of debate on this thing, that what sort of things are being published. And coming to the other details, means what are the kind of, means are good university publishing into this particular journal? Yes, obviously I will name a few. University of California System, French National Center for Scientific Research, Tsinghua University, Nanyang Technological University, Peking University, the University of Texas System, University of Illinois, then French Institute for Research in Computer Science and Automation, National University of Singapore, etc. So you can see that there are so many good and well-known, world-renowned universities have been, means the authors belonging from these places have been publishing their work in this particular transaction. So I think that is enough for the basic understanding of this particular journal. And before closing this video, I would like to tell some of the basic research area. So in my understanding, the computer vision, computer graphics, and the Fourier analysis, digital image processing, machine learning, uh, then computational complexity theory based algorithms, etc. are some of the common research areas, means the general. And the keywords, specific keywords with respect to these things include the digital image, digital quality, the image resolution, wavelet transformations, active contour models, the sparse approximations, watermarking techniques, etc. are some of the common keywords. So these are some of the keywords which are related to the scope of this particular journals aim and scope, because it is focused on image processing. So most of the things are related, means the key technologies or the terms are related to image processing will come in focus. And if you do know that there is something else that could have been included in this particular video, please let me know. If I didn't cover anything, please let me know that also. If you don't like anything, please do put your comments and criticize this video. I would definitely try to improve my next video through your comments. Thanks for watching this video. Happy learning.